future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Hey, everybody, it is Wednesday, June the 3rd. I'm Emerson Collins.
And I'm Del Shores.
And you're listening to The Del and Emerson Show.
Straight talk.
Real gay! This week's episode of The Del and Emerson Show is brought to you by Equality Vodka.
Do we have those claps? We can't get...
Yes!
There we go. That audience is so delayed.
The audience in the background, they were just waiting. I think they were as confused as you were by the fact that I couldn't remember my own name.
I know. I was so in my head because it was funny. But I've done that.
It happens. We have a huge show today. We are super excited to welcome to the show RuPaul's Drag Race alumna, Pandora Boxx, drag queen superstar, will be with us, along with fitness expert Craig Ramsay and hair and beauty guru Brandon Liberati, to talk about their new workout series, Workouts of Drag. So they'll be joining us in a little while. So we got to hurry.
And they're real pretty.
They are, all of them.
All of them. Very, very handsome group we have.
Today is the day to be watching the webcast. But let's get right into it because we got stories and things to talk about.
Absolutely. Let's go.
The Equality Update today is sponsored by Equality Vodka.
Equality Vodka is an ultra-premium vodka brand with one agenda: equality for all. Support our LGBT communities by asking for Equality Vodka everywhere. Join Equality Vodka on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. One voice, one vodka, Equality Vodka.
Every bottle of Equality Vodka purchased results in a donation to a recognized nonprofit organization advancing the equality movement for the LGBT community. For more information on how to get Equality Vodka stocked in your local bar, visit equalityvodka.com.
Yeah, I was looking at their website today. I love that it says on there, their mantra is, for if we don't have equality, truly we have nothing.
I love that.
And we're very grateful to Equality Vodka for sponsoring our show and letting us go on the air each week.
So much
thank you
so
so
that
much.
we dressed in like Equality Vodka colors and everything.
And I'm wearing my bracelet, and Emerson's wearing his bracelet, and here's our Equality Vodka.
Well, in equality news, exciting story out of Africa. Mozambique has legalized equality. This move brings Mozambique in line with 20 other African nations that either allow homosexuality or do not legislate it against it. That is in opposition to the remaining 35 countries that homosexuality is illegal in, and it is punishable by death still in Sudan, Nigeria, and Mauritania. So we celebrate Mozambique moving forward because our LGBT brothers and sisters in Africa face a lot of battles, far more dangerous even than those that we experience here.
I love that there's good news. There's some good news happening every single week in equality.
Yes.
And more here. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, in Northern Ireland, in response to what happened with the Irish referendum, Northern Ireland still does not have same-sex marriage, but the Belfast City Council voted this week in favor of same-sex marriage, so it has given a lot of impetus to the people in Northern Ireland based on what happened in the actual Ireland as well. But, of course, with all advancement comes negative haters crawling out of the woodwork. That often makes it feel like we're moving backward, but their bigoted opinions just come to the forefront as we make advancements. We talked previously about the Colorado Republican who was also a TV evangelist, Gordon Klingenschmidt. And on his weekly webcast, he had a response to marriage equality that went a little something like this. He said, "There was a time when it was said that St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland, and now I'm concerned that the snakes have returned to Ireland. And when I say snakes, I'm not talking about physical snakes. I'm talking about the demonic spirits inside of some of the people you see pandering their sin in pride around the country, rejecting not just the Catholic Church, but rejecting Jesus Christ himself." So congratulations, LGBT people. Now we are snakes.
Snakes.
And I just keep telling these stories because this guy is an elected representative in Colorado. He's not just a crackpot on the internet.
And, the snake was the symbol in the Bible for Satan. So it's just...
well, it's why we lisp our S's.
Is that the reason?
I don't know. I just thought of that right now.
I'm going to Colorado. I'm going to look him up.
So where are you going in Colorado?
I'm at Lanny's Clock Tower Cabaret this weekend in Denver. I'm so excited to go to Denver. And I'll be there Friday night and Saturday nights at 8 o'clock.
And where can people get tickets?
They can get tickets. Just go to Lanny's Clock Tower Cabaret. Just Google that. It's all over my Facebook. And you will find tickets to find my events on my Facebook page, and you will get tickets there. And yes, it's a fun place, and I'm going to be doing my show Singularly Sorted.
In other equality news, North Carolina has been on an interesting adventure the last couple of weeks. The North Carolina legislature passed a bill to allow public employees charged with issuing marriage licenses to refuse to issue such licenses to same-sex couples. Now, the Republican governor of North Carolina said that he would veto it, and then he did, saying, whether it is the president, governor, mayor, a law enforcement officer, or magistrate, no public official who voluntarily swears to support and defend the Constitution and to discharge all duties of their office should be exempt from upholding that oath. So he vetoed the law. Now, the Senate in North Carolina turned around and immediately overrode that veto with enough votes to get it past him, and now they're waiting on the House to do the same thing. So here you have
He's
the
bound and determined.
Yes, well, you have the North Carolina governor watching out for the state because he saw what happened in Indiana
Yes.
and watching out for their business and their reputation nationally, and yet the Republicans in the North Carolina legislature are like, we don't really care.
But didn't we see, like, not too long ago on the show, we saw that in North Carolina the stats are going up in favor of gay marriage. So it's amazing that these people are supposedly representing the people, but I don't think they are anymore. I don't really think
they're
they're
representing
listening.
a small vocal group of extremists.
So they need to get them out of there. It's time next election to get these haters out of office.
Here's hoping. And in other exciting news, we are passionate about what happens in Texas, both being from there. As the Texas legislative session comes to a close, the incredible advocates and equality-minded people managed to shut down all 20 of the anti-LGBT bills that were brought forth this session. So that is a huge accomplishment and shows you how many equality-minded people there are in Texas and businesses fighting against the extremely crazy conservative legislature there.
And you were educating me because they don't meet for another 2 years, right?
Yeah, the Texas legislature only meets every 2 years. So hopefully more people will have changed more minds by the time they come back.
This'll all die
and there
down.
won't be more of these bills pitched.
Absolutely. So,
All right, well, let's flash through the gay news.
yeah, well, flashing through the gay news, we had a big week. We had Caitlyn Jenner coming out, and it was all over Facebook, and I loved your meme, Emerson, that supported her and said if you have people who don't support this, then you should unfriend them. Basically, that's what you were saying, right? They should not be your friends. And we got a lot of hate. I shared that on mine. I got a lot of hate. Did you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just simply said, on Monday morning, as the photos from the Vanity Fair shoot that unless you live under a rock, you have to have seen, as Caitlyn Jenner revealed herself to the world, I just sort of had the mindset of, we fight so many fights, and if we can't ever stop and celebrate successes, it's just exhausting. And so I simply said on my page, like, we're not going to indulge any of that today. I understand there are lots of reasons people have problem with her, that she's a Republican, that she's wealthy, that she's privileged, that it doesn't represent the journey of so many trans people that don't have access to the things that she does. All of those things are worth talking about as we move forward, and we certainly can now. But I thought, just for a moment, no matter what you think of the Kardashians or of Caitlyn Jenner prior to this moment, there are absolutely people all across our country who their very first encounter with the reality of what trans people are and go through is through Caitlyn Jenner's story. Because of the reach that she has, because of the celebrity that she has had for her entire life. I have gay people on my page talking about, I never really thought about it before, that she was a huge figure in the sports world and has been a huge celebrity for over 30 years. That influence and impact is undeniable.
Were you surprised at how many gays went after her, and even many in the trans community?
Well, I'm not surprised. I understand people in the trans community more than I understand gay people, because the great objection from gay people on my page was she's a Republican. Okay, great. But if we unpack that a little bit, 1 in 5 LGBT people is Republican. And close to half our country. Like, if we're not going to be willing to engage in conversation, and even her being a Republican doesn't negate the fact that she's creating a conversation that a lot of people have never had before. As great as Laverne Cox and Janet Mock and all of these people are that are incredibly articulate activists for the trans community, this is still undeniably important because it reaches people that have never been reached before.
I agree so much, and I always hesitate when there is a true fan of mine that writes such vile awfulness on my page. But at one point, I just got fed up, and I said, you know what? I've asked for the respect. I've asked you just this day only, do not post negative shit. And they did, and I thought, you're just being disrespectful at this point. And they go, well, I have an opinion. Well, yes, you have an opinion, but I ask you to just celebrate this. Can we be positive for 1 second?
Well, and I go to, we don't get to choose the opportunities that present themselves. So, we don't get to decide, like, we can either take advantage of this opportunity that Caitlyn has presented us to educate and inform more people, or we can whine about how it happened and who it is and how much we wish it was somebody else. But if we don't use the opportunities when they arrive, like, then that's when I get frustrated. It's like, okay, nobody is perfect. No icon is perfect. No spokesperson is perfect. Like, no, this isn't a perfect situation to a lot of people, but it is still the opportunity that currently exists. And to not take advantage of it is a disservice to the trans people that don't have opportunity.
And let's see what she does now with this platform.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's wait and see. I mean,
that's my hope.
Yeah. I mean, and already there have been some wonderful things. The Arthur Ashe Courage Awards was given to her. By ESPN.
I know.
A lot of controversy about that.
But it also means we're going to have to watch a sports ball awards show in July to see what she says.
I love that. And it broke Obama's record on Twitter.
Oh, right, yes.
That most Twitter followers, and I think there were only 4 tweets when I went there, but one of them was, whatever am I going to wear, basically, to these awards, which I love.
Broke all of the internet. And I love that it is just the tiniest bit shady that she did not start the name Caitlyn with a K. She did not do that on accident. And she said in something, I want to separate myself a little bit from that and, and show my own journey. But it's also a little bit of like a middle finger of like, I am doing something definitely different. And that's what gives me hope, that she's going to educate herself and start showing up at events and showing up for
separate
social
herself
causes
from that pack.
And really using the platform that she has, because she's making money, and I think good for you. Make money however you can make it, because this was going to be a huge thing, whether she revealed herself for the first time going to Starbucks or on a magazine cover, and I'm not mad at her for picking a magazine cover where she could control the images.
Right.
But
not a bad photographer either.
Absolutely. And my hope is that she does take the opportunity not to just make money, but to truly to learn about the issues and speak about how trans women of color face incredible violence. I read a story this morning about a trans woman that was pushed onto the subway platform in New York. Like, the awareness she can create can do really positive things, and I hope she does.
Well, she has signed with CAA for speaking today, so it looks like she wants to do this. I saw a preview for her a reality show. But let's just talk about Chris for just a second, because we do have the quote here. Kris Jenner in Vanity Fair. He was married to me, and he wasn't who he wanted to be, so he was miserable. It was the most passive-aggressive thing I think I've ever experienced. Why would you want to be married and have kids if this is what you wanted since you were a little boy? How do you respond to that?
Well, I think, it's just they're different circumstances, but like coming out as gay to your family members. So, she was in a relationship with Caitlyn, and so her experience of this situation is fundamentally different from anyone else's. And I think that is between her and Caitlyn, how they deal with the healing from it. And I am willing to say I can't imagine what Chris is going through either, because this is her journey is public as well. And so I'm willing to give a little room for her feelings in the process as well. And I think it'll be interesting to see how she comes around. The girls have been fantastically supportive.
Yeah.
So I would be shocked if we didn't eventually see Kris Jenner on board as a pretty great advocate too, if for no other reason than it's good publicity for her, and she does like that.
She does like that. Okay, a couple of fun things. I read that the way she chose her name was she watched old Miss Americas, and the Caitlyn was what she decided, but Heather and Kathy were also in the running. I found that interesting. But I also wanted to give a shout out to one of my fans on my page because of because of Caitlyn already. Stacy Sawiki Booth shared this on my page. She said, I've had to unfriend already today. This was because of your meme, Emerson. My daughter recently let us know she was trans, and this is her second week of school being herself. I have zero time for hateful assholes in my or her life. This mama is too damn proud of her beautiful daughter right now to give fucks about and entertain people who spew hate. And her daughter then also gave me permission to give her a shout out, Chloe Booth. So we just wanted to wish y'all well.
Yes, and good for you, Chloe,
and good for this mom. I mean, Stacy, so proud of you. I mean, this is what we're seeing now, the support from parents, and this is what's changing our world and our society. So,
and
great.
Of course, there's been plenty of negative response. Fox News has been gross about it. A Mike Huckabee clip is making the rounds from a speech he gave back in February, where he said, "Now, I wish that someone had told me when I was in high school that I could have felt like a woman when it came time to take showers in PE. I'm pretty sure that I would have found my feminine side and said, 'Coach, I think I'd rather shower with the girls today.'" And that's just gross. And it's interesting. Media Matters released a report this morning that they've reached out to all of the school districts that have allowed trans students to use the bathroom with the gender identity they align with. And not a single one has reported a single instance of a problem or this scare tactic that so many people trot out against trans people. Not one school district.
That's
not one
awesome.
school where that they are allowing it. So I'm pretty sure if adolescents in high school can be mature enough about this, that certainly the rest of our society should be able to do the same.
Yeah, Mike Huckabee, it just needs to continue to dig himself these graves because he's done. I really think he's done.
Well,
you don't think he is, but I think he is.
Because of who his base is. He's talking to his base. Those people already agree with him.
But that base is dwindling. We saw it recently in statistics. It's getting lower and lower and lower. He's not going to be able to win the election.
Well, no, that's a given. I mean, he's not entering to win the election. He's entering to be able to sell more of his next books and to keep the profile of his Fox News show up.
Well, I like to take the high road here, so fuck you, Mike Huckabee.
All right, well, we will continue to follow Caitlin's journey. E released the 1-minute trailer for her show that's this summer today as well, so this will continue to be a big news story, and we will continue, along with talking about Caitlin, support the work of activists and the rest of the trans community as well in order to continue to celebrate varying voices in the community. In other news...
Yes, conversion therapy news.
Yeah, just quickly, the conversion therapy case that we talked about, the 4 clients of an ex-gay conversion therapy provider in New Jersey that are suing under the New Jersey's Consumer Fraud Act, that trial starts today, and it is looking really good for them because that's the case we talked about where the judge ruled that the central concept that homosexuality is a disorder and can be cured is scientifically discredited. So the defendants have an uphill battle, so that could do well for the case of banning conversion therapy nationally for everybody, which would be so great.
Yes, it would be. We followed this this horrible stuff since our second episode of this show, and we continue to be activists against this. So
flashing on.
Oh, and fun stuff. We've been following Tallywhackers in Dallas because
it's a real place.
Yes, and we've proven it's a real place, and now we have pictures in the to show their little outfits. Here's what I found: they had a soft opening. And then they had a hard opening.
Well, that's the way it usually works. You start soft and then go hard.
So I like that. And then I like their outfits. Did you like their outfits?
Yeah, they're fine. They're red tank tops and little gray boy shorts. And apparently someone said that you can pick your server.
That seems a little bit on the brothel side, though.
Well,
just a little bit. That's like the best little whorehouse in Texas.
Well, it's like part of the menu. You order your waiter, and then your appetizer, your meal, your dessert.
But it's just, my codependency will to kick in, and then I'm just gonna go. Oh,
you gonna pick the homely one because you feel bad?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
It just lends itself to someone not getting chosen, and it goes back to me being the fat boy on the team.
But isn't that the way? Like, there's lots of places that work that way. Strip clubs are that way. Like, there's that one stripper in the corner, nobody's tipping. This place is halfway between a strip club and a restaurant.
That massage place I went to in Bangkok.
I'm just saying. Like, it's not
Bangkok.
Like
Bangkok. I said Bangkok.
These waiters had to audition. They knew what they were in for.
All right.
You don't apply for a regular restaurant job and then call it an audition.
I wonder if they wave their hand wildly like, me. Okay, onward.
All right. Well, in another not as exciting story, a young man named Evan Young, 18 years old, planned to come out as gay at his graduation. He was the valedictorian from Twin Peaks Charter Academy High School in Longmont, Colorado. The high school said that his speech included derogatory comments about the school and other students, as well as references to personal matters of a sexual nature. Now, he re-edited the speech, but insisted he be able to come out. The school principal outed him to his parents, informing them of the issues with the speech. Now, his parents responded positively, but still, the school did it. And Evan and his family were only told a few minutes before the ceremony that he would not be speaking and would not be recognized as valedictorian. After that, Outboulder asked him to deliver his speech at a fundraising event, and he did. Their leader said the edited version of the speech and felt there was no reason he should not have been allowed to deliver it. Evan himself said, "The central message of my speech was that you must learn to respect people even if you disagree with them, a lesson which I learned during my 4 years as a student at this school. And I thought briefly disclosing my sexual orientation in my speech would be the perfect catalyst for this discussion.
Did he have to give the speech for them to approve it? Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
you have to submit school speeches. But it's interesting because it's one thing to say he couldn't give the speech. Like, schools do what they do. It sounds like, I believe it's a private school. But that they also then did not recognize him as valedictorian either. And that has nothing to do with the speech.
Right. I mean,
like, even a stand and wave. Like, I did better than all y'all.
Exactly.
And he's the smartest kid in school.
I would have shouted that out. Someone.
But he got to give the speech, and I find him amazing and inspiring.
Yeah.
And this continues to set the example of, even in conservative communities where people do have the right to do discriminatory things because they're private institutions, that there are still people like Evan and his supportive friends and parents that are trying to do the right things and change minds in those communities.
And good for, Out Boulder for
supporting him and giving him to give the speech.
Absolutely. This is an interesting story. This is in Pennsylvania, and gay couple had to switch from adoption to marriage, and it's an elderly couple, Norman MacArthur and Bill Novak. They're both in their 70s, and they finally got married in Pennsylvania this week, but they've been together since their 20s, and they had registered as domestic partners in New York in 1994, but when they moved to Pennsylvania, their partnership wasn't recognized, and the only way that they could have a legal relationship with all the rights that entailed was if one of them legally adopted the other. So Novak adopted MacArthur, who was only 2 years younger than him, and they stayed that way as, legally father and son, basically, for 15 years to circumvent the laws. And now a judge has vacated that adoption, and they've been able to marry. So what a journey. And I love that they just kind of went around the system. And, I'd heard, earlier in California, I knew a couple of couples that did that. It was more a younger guy with an older man, but they were able to do that so that nobody in the family would challenge the will, etc.
And a perfect example of why marriage equality is so important, and the legal rights that is really the point of the situation.
Absolutely. Okay.
Well, in Tennessee, a TV station in Tennessee refused to air a 30-second commercial spot sponsored by the group Freedom to Marry. It featured Dr. Jesse Ehrenfeld, who is a gay soldier who just returned from a tour of duty working in a trauma hospital in Afghanistan, who wants to marry his partner. In the commercial, he said, "I'm a Republican, I'm a doctor, and I'm a soldier. As a military physician, I take care of other people's loved ones who are wounded in combat, but here at home, I'm fighting a different fight. Because I'm gay, I'm not allowed to marry my partner here in Tennessee where we live." Now, the TV station had no policy about ads like this, but Tom Tolar, the president and general manager, said it's a very controversial and personal issue, and we just chose to not air a commercial on either side of that debate. People probably have really strong opinions on one side or the other. It's just an emotional debate for many people. Freedom to Marry said their goal is to reach regular Tennesseans, something we talk about a lot, that it's not about just changing the mind of justices, it's changing the hearts and minds of people. But it's really interesting that they were like, it sounds like it's not even, they were like, oh, we just don't want the pushback, we don't want to get the phone calls, but a little bit discriminatory in the process. I'd be interested to see if they would have done the same objection.
That's what I was thinking.
The other side. Now, he said it's very controversial on both sides, and I didn't see anything about that they've aired other ads the other direction, so maybe they're just saying we're staying out of this issue. But here's a perfect example. A gay, Republican, soldier, doctor. I mean, Lord.
Wow.
Our community is full of all different kinds.
Yeah, and I again, just making noise about this when this happens is so important. So kudos to him. And then in Russia, we remember the Russian lawmaker who was sponsoring the ban on gay propaganda. His name Vitaly Milonov. Well, now he has proposed a bill imposing fines for nudity or unethical attire in public places. The bill clarifies that this is either absence of clothes or nudity of either upper or lower parts of the body for both men and women. So basically, he's banning shirtless men. And the list of unethical clothing includes men's and women's underwear and swimsuit, and is applicable outside beaches and other zones of public recreation. So you can't go to the park and play Frisbee shirtless if this passes.
Well,
this guy's just a prude.
Well, the funny thing is, it's almost like actually equality-minded, because banning shirtless men with shirtless women already being banned actually sort of makes sense. It's like you've got to either apply it to everybody or nobody. It's like the nipple on Instagram thing that people have been complaining about for women, that you can show men's nipples anywhere in our culture, but not women's, because there are breasts attached. So there's something funny about this that's sort of equality. Maybe this is why Abercrombie banned their shirtless men in front of their stores, because they're trying to go to Russia.
Could be.
Who knows?
And the American Family Association sent me a very big email. They're applauding Abercrombie for that decision, which we were not happy.
I am not. I'm still upset.
So
and also the grand irony there too is that shirtless photo of Putin has made the rounds of the internet everywhere. I'm like, who's going to be the one to tell Putin he got to put a shirt on? I don't feel like he takes kindly to criticism, internal or external.
He should, though.
Maybe that's how we could get rid of Vitaly Milanov. Just go tell Putin to put a shirt on. This guy's gone. Problem solved.
There you go.
All right, flashing on. So the ongoing saga of the out NYC hotel owners, Ian and Maddie Wiederpass, the Republicans and the Ted Cruz situation. Well, they're in hot water for a whole different reason now. 4 servers who work at the kitchen restaurant in the out NYC hotel claim that they have been discriminated against and withheld pay. These 2 servers claim they were the only 2 men working at kitchen who outwardly presented as feminine at work and who did not adhere to masculine stereotypes. The discrimination allegedly began when a manager implemented a new policy on attire and grooming. It said in part, please keep excessive makeup and nail polish to a minimum, gentlemen. The only acceptable time for gentlemen to wear makeup or nail polish will be for Sunday brunch during House a Mimosa. Now, in New York City's human rights law prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender, which includes gender identity, self-image, appearance, behavior, or expression. This is really interesting because, they have a whole host of other problems, but you are an LGBT-focused hotel catering to LGBT people, and you want the gay men who work at your hotel to present as traditionally mask for mask?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, this is genuinely more offensive to me, ironically, even than the Republican thing that everybody's been going on and on for weeks about.
And they're asking for them to do a lot of work, because taking off that nail polish and just putting it on for the Sunday brunch, that's a lot of work.
But genuinely, genuinely in a policy, shaming feminine presenting gay men. I do. I find it more offensive than that they are Republican.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the worst problems between gay men and the way we treat each other. Is making feminine a second class or dismissing femininity or any feminine presentation as somehow less of a man. It's so mask for mask and makes me crazy.
I was when we were looking at this story, I was wondering, I wonder if this story would have gotten attention or if it would have happened at all without the other, though.
Well,
what do you think?
I think the story would have gotten attention, but I wonder if the reason the lawsuit was brought because so many people are going against these guys, and these servers finally felt the strength to say it's not fair that we're being told that because I present as a different kind of gay man, that's less valid in this establishment that caters to LGBT people.
Well,
I am literally my internal homosexual flame is on fire.
Well, I think you should just put on some false eyelashes and go to kitchen.
I mean, if I could get to New York, I would. Sashay my way into the restaurant. Ugh.
Absolutely.
Finally, checking in with crazy.
This is a funny one. Brian Fisher, he's a guest on the Brian Fisher Show, blames the Texas floods on witchcraft and sodomy. And the best way to do this, I think, is her name is Rebecca. She's from College Station, where Texas A&M is. And she called into Brian Fisher's radio show, and what Brian Fisher is with, is it American Family Association?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. So here I'd like to play Rebecca for just a second, because I can do a good Texas girl. The places that are underwater, they're overrun with witchcraft and sodomy. Houston, they have a whole area that's like a Sodom and Gomorrah. They have a sodomite mayor. Here in the Brazos Valley between Austin and Houston, we're not underwater, even though we're in a valley. You know what's different about the Brazos Valley is we kicked out abortion. If God's judging Texas, it's because of the witchcraft and the sodomy. And then Brian Fisher happily re-explained it for her. If you're going to attribute the flooding in Texas to some kind of supernatural cause, you can make a geographical connection between the flooding and the practice of the occult and witchcraft and the embrace of homosexuality. That's where the disaster is being felt the worst. Do we have to even say anything else?
No, bless your bigoted heart, Rebecca. I mean, let's be honest. Alec Mapa said this on Facebook the other day. I can't even take credit for it, but he said, if the gays control the weather as much as all these crazy conservatives seem to think so, shouldn't that mean you should be nicer to us?
I love Alec.
Just saying.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a real quick break, and we will be back with the amazing Pandora Boxx, Craig Ramsay, and Brandon Liberati.
This is Levi Christ.
There's a rage way down inside me. A fire that's branding my soul. There's one control. Now you can't. My possession with a
And we are back, and we are super excited to welcome to the show today Craig Ramsay, who is a fitness instructor and trainer to the stars, an author, a former Broadway dancer, and jack of all trades, Mr. Brandon Liberati, who is a Hollywood hair and beauty guru, and the one and only Miss Pandora Boxx, RuPaul's Drag Race alumna, star, and video vixen. Hey, guys! Do you like that? I was really proud of my little intros that I wrote.
I love it. I love the applause. Too.
Yes, our huge studio audience loves all of you. Wave
They're
to
actually
them.
behind there.
Yeah, they're behind the wall on the other end.
It's a
coming,
you know, we
Mom.
can't see them, it distracts us. So
of course.
yeah.
Of course.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Are y'all revving up to do this video? I'm so
Yes.
excited about it.
Let's kick off with that, because then there's so many other things we can talk about. You guys have started this incredible new workout series. Tell us about it.
Innovative workout series.
Yes,
Well,
original.
Yeah, it started a few years ago when I was very actively training Pandora Boxx, and we decided that what was going to get her to keep working out in the consistency of it was the entertainment factor. So we made it fun, and then we decided that this would appeal to absolutely all women out there and men, and so we came up with some fitness programming that we think is genius, that gets people moving and loving to work out again and making fitness fun.
So it worked for you.
It did work for me. Yeah, we had to stop.
Well, just look at her.
I mean, she is gorgeous. We all know.
We had to stop working out my arms a little because they were getting a little too big.
Oh, right. That's a
But-
thing for ladies.
Yeah, 'cause I'm apparently a lady. But yeah, it's just because Craig would kind of kick my ass, but he would do it in a fun way and kind of like.
Well, he's
make it-
kind of handsome too. And
Yeah.
he's
I mean,
got those biceps.
It is
and-
motivating.
Does he train you shirtless? Because maybe I'll sign up.
I will for the right donation to our Kickstarter, I guess.
Right.
We just talked about
Oh, that's
that.
a shirtless. That's a good prize.
No, a
photo of his ass. That's
Yes.
the best, don't you
My
think?
husband
I'm like
is it
telling this.
we're
Wait.
getting
Whoring you
desperate
out.
here.
Your husband
I
is
will.
whoring you out.
I totally.
Is it scratch and sniff?
Oh, whatever.
Oh,
whatever you
smells
want.
good.
Too much?
Canadian.
You know?
No.
We
Not
just
too
lost
much.
our
Not for me.
sponsor.
That's
Be
like
like-
another $100 for this.
Perfect. I'm totally fine with that.
Oh, that's a good.
I was gonna do a donation of like, I'll just have sex with you if you donate $500.
Well-
or I won't have sex with you if it makes you donate.
Right.
$500.
Yes, I should do that more. I promise I will not have sex with you if you donate. Well, so the entire concept is workouts a drag. Yes. And so in the concept of doing like it looks, are you going to be in drag in the video? Like, is this like we're doing full drag?
I was
Stop.
looking at myself. in
Pandora's staring at herself on my Periscope.
Yeah, we are going to be working out in full drag, but there'll be other people working out because it's not just for drag queens. The drag
Right.
queens are there for entertainment, but we'll also be working out too.
Yeah.
Are you going to be serving like your trademark comedy quips like through the workout? Because like that would get me through this.
Yeah, that's the whole point, is that there's funny little quips and anecdotes and things, and probably me going, oh my God, I can't do it.
But she can do it.
Yeah, you know, just kind of those things that when you're watching a video, I kind of want to choke people because they
Yes.
look so happy and
Right.
they're doing this and I'm doing it, and I'm not coordinated, so I can't do the Zumba or whatever. And
I don't understand. Yeah.
it's confusing. So this way, it's fun. Like you laugh as you're working out and getting
Because
in shape.
this would get me to do it. We've talked about on the show before, like, you know those endorphin things you get at the end of a workout that make you feel really good?
Yes.
Mine are broken.
No.
They don't work.
No, we just got.
Craig and I are about to get in a fight.
Yeah, we just got to get you actively moving, and I think that that's what this DVD does.
Absolutely.
It takes away the insecurities that people have about working out and making it fun. They don't even know that they got in an incredible workout because they were so entertained throughout the whole thing.
Well, and I also think, I mean, being real about it for a minute, you know, I'm a really skinny guy. And I think there's a lot of us that can be intimidated by a gym environment or the other people that are there. And I feel like this becomes a really great thing. If you can do it at home, like we can laugh along with Pandora and feel really comfortable in our own bodies working at our own pace. If we
Absolutely.
have, you know, certainly we should work past those things, but it's a great way if you are not comfortable starting out and want to do things on your own.
This is a workout for all people. And look at me, like I'm a big guy. I don't train my females to look like me. If there's guys that are actively participating in this DVD, they can, because the fitness programming is going to be really well-rounded for that. And every single person should have an at-home workout for many reasons. One is to cut the excuses out of the equation that I can't get to the gym, and another is to build the strength, stamina, and self-confidence that is necessary sometimes, as you said, to step into the gym proudly.
Well, you know, for me, it's like I love going to the gym. I spin, and I do get those things, that rush, because I said I got off of antidepressants by spinning.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it is truly my antidepressant, and you know, plus I'm anxious, so I want to stay skinny. That's all of my goal now, is just to stay thin.
You look great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But when I'm on the road, it's really difficult for me, even with a hotel, because I'm so OCD that I need my spinning bike. You know what I mean? So this may be, you know, level 2 for me. Maybe I can do something that would be conducive to traveling so much. 'Cause
Exactly.
That's where
And you're not your fitness. You're not a fitness programmer. I am, and that's why I provide the incredible fitness programming in this DVD, which is my first one, so that people do have a program that they know is there to support them.
And so in conjunction with that, you're doing a Kickstarter to
Yes.
fund the campaign and make it a reality.
None of this is going to happen unless we raise our.
And you have to. It's not like Indiegogo. You have to make this goal, right? On
yes.
Kickstarter, you
They
have
give
to.
that shit back.
Yeah.
screwed.
And they're almost $8,000,
Yeah, we're doing well, right?
which is
Pandora?
great.
Yeah, we are.
So tell us about some of the prizes.
And we, by the
think
way,
we just talked about
the link is in our chat room. So everybody listening, go to our chat room, and John's put that up for you.
Well, I mean, I'll tell, like, my favorites, I love that people can Skype with you and, like, have, like, let's kiki sessions.
Yeah, we'll dish some dirt.
I love that.
Can you record Skype conversations?
Yes, they can.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Oh.
once again. Nothing that will get me sued, but yes, we'll dish dirt.
Gotta up the price on those.
And you can, for like $100, I'll make a personalized video for like if somebody has a birthday. Or
Yes. I mean, it starts, like, there's all the way down from, like, you can just get the video at $25, right?
Oh, we'll take a pity donation.
All
of
the
5
way,
or 10
but all the way up to,
please.
like, $5,000, and Pandora will come do a show for you. Like,
Oh,
there
we'll
are
all do a
so
show for
many.
you for
there's
$5,000.
Yeah, there's a night out on the town.
I mean,
all of
I
us.
did not see the perk that's the two of you doing a show. Just saying.
Oh, there's a night out on
option.
the town.
That would be a show I'd like to watch.
Get your computer, open it up,
And I
let's
know,
donate.
I
Let's
know
do it.
That's
already.
a $5,000
he's
donation,
so willing.
and I will do a show with Craig.
And
Got to get this made.
and so while like you work out the body, you can also get like perks that have related to like making your outside feel beautiful as well from Brandon.
I'll do your hair.
It's
Yes.
in the DVD as well.
Yes.
We include beauty tips from Brandon.
Yes.
Again, for all people, and a good reminder for that yesterday was we all know Our Lady J.
Yes.
The gorgeous Our Lady J. She sent me a reminder that I possibly was alienating the trans community with the kind of logo or the way that I was addressing the DVD. Because finally a real workout for real women. And I'm so happy that she reached out to me because she said, make it a real workout for all women.
Yes.
Because that's a trigger word for the trans community.
Right.
I didn't know that. When I say real women, I
We
think
just
of
put them in that
that
trans
category.
real women.
Right.
You know what? And back to what we were talking about earlier with Caitlyn Jenner, we're all learning, and gently reminding people, like on my Facebook when they were still using the male pronouns, and I just say gently reminding her, him, not him anymore, that kind of thing. And so sometimes we are ignorant and we don't know that we're not, there's no bad intention
all
there.
All of us
so
are until we're experiencing it, and thank God that we're experiencing it now with Caitlyn and Our Lady J and all these other leaders.
Well, and just Caitlyn, Laverne Cox came into our lives already transitioned. So Caitlyn is a completely different story, and I think it's so brave that she's actually doing. We know her, and all groups know her, and to actually do this in the public eye, I think is super brave.
That's a very
regardless
good
of
point.
What she is,
Yeah.
she's doing this in front of us, in front of everyone's
and
eyes.
not to take anything away from Laverne Cox, because she's
No.
been amazing in her talent alone and being a regular on a series. It's been amazing for her. I love her.
Yes, but people keep bringing that up, that
Right.
that her perspective on the subject is so much deeper. But the thing is this is new. This is new for Caitlyn. So
Yeah, well, and it goes to all of our communities. The more voices and the greater variety of the voices, the better the representation for everybody. We still have, in the gay community, it's like hearing from guys that aren't white gay men is important in our community too. It's like creating diversity in each aspect of our community is in the best interest of all of us.
And in the fitness industry, and I don't like to harp on this because I don't want it to come off as negative, but being a gay man in the fitness industry, and I'm not talking a fitness model. Fitness model's different. You do a shoot, you're featured, it's great. But because I do things on TV and it's attaching my name and an interview with that, I've been pulled from every single fitness-related magazine cover because I'm homosexual and married to a man. All my endorsements, all of
So you are legally married.
yeah, for 1
Wonderful.
year. Thank
Yay.
you.
yeah.
It's been a wild ride.
ride.
Yeah, but it's good. We're very fortunate and grateful that we do have that. But this initiative with Workouts a Drag is tossing an LGBT themed, focused fitness DVD into the fitness industry, because we as LGBT community, of course, we're their biggest supporter. We give them cash all the time.
And that's just it. We're giving them our money. They do not. Most of these companies do not support our community at all.
In the
At
fitness
all.
industry. So now we're going to make this mainstream, and it'll be the first one ever that is out and proud.
Yeah,
So we need your help.
Yeah, yes. Look at their Kickstarter and find a prize that suits you, and get their DVD for $25. I did it today.
Thank you.
Everybody did 20. It's hard. We've done many of these, and sometimes it gets challenging, and you go, it's a lot of work for 30 days or whatever. But you guys you guys got social media down. Y'all are doing really, really well. I wanted to ask you, how has your life different since you've been on RuPaul's Drag Race? I mean, how many followers did it change? I mean, the power.
well,
of
she's
that
a huge
medium.
superstar now.
But the power of TV, that medium, is so crazy.
Yeah, it's even crazier now because the show is even more popular than it was before. But yeah, it totally changed my professional life being on that show and getting my art form out to many people, and that's part of the reason why I went on the show. I mean, one, I wanted to be on the show just because I wanted to be on a TV show. I loved RuPaul, but I really wanted to see if my drag related to people enough that I could go further with it.
Well, and she's still been, and you've been doing recaps all of this season, so it's like it still continues to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, and it's my 3rd season of doing recaps, so it's like, you're happy if anything gets greenlit, even if it's a web series.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like, yes, I get to do it again. So yeah.
Well, there's a lot of queens to choose from, and they pick you.
True.
Just saying, there's a reason.
And she almost broke Periscope with her first ever
I know.
broadcast. Did you see that?
Yes, well, I'm personally like a Periscope advocate or addict, depending on how you look at it, as it's happening right now during the show. And trying to convince people, because I think it's a really great way, especially for people that love someone like you, that you can have a conversation and you still control the dialogue,
Yeah.
so they can weigh in and ask you things. But it's a much more immediate and intimate connection with people who love you and often only get to see you from the stage.
It's true. It was just a little. I was trying to read everything really quickly and look, and then I was like, "Oh, look, hearts!" And I didn't. And,
Got distracted.
And then I think I deleted my first post, so I'm like, "Oh crap!" I have to do
Emerson,
another
so I've
one.
done it only twice, and I'm like reading like an old woman. And he said, "You have to just read," because I said, "What does that mean? What do they say? Oh, they're insulting me,"
Well, like anything else, it's a skill that you get used to. But I really think for people that are big, loved personalities, like as you're out on the road and like, here I am going to this gig, like it gives people an intimacy with you that you are still in control of. That I
Yeah.
think is really fun, because especially for queens, that people love you. They don't love to hate. Like, people love to hate some people, but like your fans love you, and getting to have a conversation with you is really cool.
Yeah,
You
no,
were
I like it.
I was going to say, you are so good at it. Anybody that's learning Periscope needs to watch Emerson.
Emerson is great at it. It's just another thing.
Well,
I'm
he-
just like, oh no.
Well, I like it because I'm a
nothing.
narcissist.
I just got Instagram. He was I told you, so appalled. I said, look, I don't work it really well. I said, look, I only have 1,000. He goes, oh, that's bad. With what? How many followers do you have on Instagram?
a lot.
65,000.
Oh, it's like a small town.
But Facebook, you have like 350,000 likes or
I
something.
think like 370.
We better have very good ratings today. That's all I'm saying.
It's all that pressure.
We better have great ratings with you. You have a bunch of huge.
I always
following.
support you guys and
Yes.
tune in.
Yeah.
And I'm mostly at the gym on the stair climber.
And that's where a lot of people listen. Totally.
And then if I don't catch you on the actual site here on your Periscope, I get my notifications and I tune in.
And here we
Yeah,
are.
so what-
Well,
is
Emerson took my Periscope virginity the other night because I
You're
clicked on
welcome.
him and watched it. And
I was really gentle.
Yeah, I gave a few hearts. I was like, how do I do this?
Just like anything else, like breathe and
I
push
just
out.
kept poking. I just kept poking at it, and it seemed to work.
It does. How did you guys meet?
Gold's Gym Hollywood.
Of course you did.
right?
It's a romance
Super
story.
gay.
I love that.
I had only been in town though for literally 2 days. So
Where are you from originally?
Utah.
Oh.
Ooh, did you grow up?
Were you one of
Mormon?
them Mormons?
Kind of. We were Mormon for the neighbors.
Oh, perfect.
yeah.
Gotcha.
He's still got the panties.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Mormon
good use.
panties.
It's good to trap costumes.
Yeah.
Do you make him put them on every now and then?
He
Does
makes
it-
me put them on.
Oh!
I look like a Mormon.
Yes.
Every time we go back to Salt Lake City, no one can believe that he's from there. They all think I am.
Yeah, you do have that.
Yeah.
Sort of Mormon.
the cleaner cut of the two.
And we'll take
Mormon
pictures.
And where are you from?
For the right donation on our
Right, right
Kickstarter.
donations, We'll take pictures.
Craig, where are you from?
From a small town in Canada, near Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm all Canadian.
Oh, eh?
Yeah,
What to say about?
I love Canadians.
There it
We
is.
do say a boot and sorry and things
Sorry.
like that.
I love a good boot.
You do like
These
the boot?
these boots were made for walking.
And you're East Coast, right?
Yeah,
Pandora?
from Rochester, New York, or Western New York.
It's so rare that we have all these Yankees, and he's beyond a Yankee.
See, these numbers better be high today.
I know
Everyone
they-
better be tuning in.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've got the South and the North and Canada.
Yeah.
Well, since we have you here, I know you don't watch. What did we enjoy? Because you were there at the live taping. What did we think of the RuPaul's Drag Race finale?
I thought it was great. It was really. I mean, it's a lot longer when you're sitting there
All
for-
day.
Yeah, 8 hours. But I guess a lot of people were saying that they saw me on it. So
Oh, yeah.
which was good. I got a good seat.
You got a number
Did
of.
they
like,
already?
sets.
I'm not.
He doesn't watch it. It's the
Yeah,
weirdest
they-
thing to
Look,
me.
I've got to. I want to start though because I don't even have logo. I don't know why. I have 800,000 channels, but for some reason, no logo.
Well,
No, I don't
call
know
that
why.
cable provider. I enjoyed this finale because I thought they featured the 3 finalists better than they ever have before. Letting them each do a number really made them feel like the stars of the finale, and I loved that because, they are.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that was the best addition to the show in a long time to
Yeah.
kind of show
So
what
they've
they
announced the
normally
winner.
do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I'm out of it. I'm a bad gay. A bad gay.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
I do kind of miss some of the fighting that they
I would
used to
ask
on the
who,
reunion.
but
Well,
I didn't follow the show.
That's my one big beef with the finale. Like the early years when the reunion was a separate thing.
Yeah.
Combining the two, I hate that we don't ever have like all of the queens sitting there together where like somebody gets asked a question and someone else gets to say, here's what I thought of when that happened though. And they kind of like, I mean, what I love about queens is their sense of humor and like when they come for
Yeah.
each other. Like I do miss the like reunion-y aspect.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they should add that in, like a
I mean, we would watch a 3-hour finale and like just pile them up on those stools and like tape some more.
yeah, if they had a bitch fest, because some of them had things to say.
Or do like they do the Housewives and bring it back later. You know, we had 3 parts for Beverly
Yes,
Hills.
I would watch a 3-part reunion of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, we would.
Be like,
You should bring back
Alright.
seasons from like a couple seasons ago and see
Well,
what they have.
World
to
of
say.
Wonder. Are you listening?
Yes, what they should do is sit the actual queens in the room and let any of the the alumni who want to come like sit and like be the peanut gallery
Oh my
and be able to
God, yes.
interject.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
Because my
Brilliant.
favorite thing at this reunion, because my issue this year was like the lack of intelligence in the comedy, in general, was watching all these great queens that we love from seasons past get up and with one question and one line deliver and land a joke.
Yeah, and since I didn't watch it on TV, but I know that Delta's got in there, and Delta with one word like just made the whole reunion because
Yes.
the whole audience was in hysterics, and it was just kind of slipped in there, and it was great. It was
And
great.
Darian Lake phrased her
Darian, yeah,
question
yeah, yeah.
brilliantly, and Latrice like brought the house down with her comment.
Yes,
like
and Latrice did an amazing number in the pre-show too.
That you can see on
And
YouTube.
Bianca
Yeah.
was hysterical in the pre-show.
yes, offensive and awful the way we love. Like
Completely.
Okay, we got to wrap up here. We've had such a good time with you guys. Where can we find you? Tell us where we can
On the
find you.
interwebs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes, on PandoraBoxx.com. There's 2 X's in box because the extra X marks the spot.
Yes, and the third one means porn.
Yeah, well, that's overkill.
Yeah, it's too much.
I'm not that like desperate.
Unless it's for the right donation on our
Yes,
Kickstarter.
and then
For
I'll
the
add
two of
the
you.
extra X.
Yeah.
and it's all on all social media. It's the Pandora Boxx. Yes.
Yeah, except for Instagram, it's Pandora Boxx.
Okay.
'cause that was available. So
Yes,
Yeah.
and Craig, where do we find you?
At Craig Ramsay Fit, and then Craig Ramsay Fitness on Facebook, and you'll see our link to our workouts to drag Kickstarter on that, and also we have an event on June 24th at the Rockwell.
We'll see you there.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of our clients and friends get up and sing and belt out
The
show
24th
tunes.
of this
The
month?
24th
Yes,
at
I'm in
Rockwell.
town.
Yeah,
Yay.
I'd
come
love
see
to
it.
have you there.
I'd love to.
A lot
And
of
it's
great
for Signs
people.
of Visibility, which we have a car sign on the back of our car that says "Just Married" in LGBT same-sex theme, and it sparked so much conversation that we're going to be raising funds that night and sending hundreds of these signs out to other couples across America.
Yes.
Awesome.
And Brandon, where do we find you?
Gold's Gym Hollywood. Apparently. I'm Brandon Liberati at everything. Instagram, Gmail, all of it.
Perfect.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
we'll put it up on our Facebook page, and on any of theirs, you will find this Kickstarter. Let's make this happen for them. And
This week's episode was brought to you by Equality Vodka.
Yes, and
As
thank
always,
you.
thanks for tuning in. Up next is On Air with Tony Sweet, and after that, The Ann Walker Show with a special co-host, Blake McIver. So come back and tune in for that.
we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all!
Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network.
You make me feel